If you're a fan of my regular Magic podcasts, you probably know our newest addiction at the Top 8 Magic offices is Dungeons & Dragons Tiny Adventures. Dungeons & Dragons Tiny Adventures is a tiny online role-playing game application on Facebook, so you have to be a Facebook member to play. It's quite limited when compared with a game like World of Warcraft, but it is so accessible and simple, almost anyone can play. It's loads of fun, plus it's free. To start out, you just pick a character type. Each character type has a race, for example elf, a class, for example fighter, and a sex, for example female. My current character is a dwarf fighter female. Dwarves are strong and dependable, a people as tough as the rock of their mountain homes. Fighters are determined combat adepts who define the front line by bashing and slicing their foes into submission. Females are members of the sex that produces ova or bears young. Each type of character has a unique mix of strengths, weaknesses, and sex appeal. Once you pick a character type and name him or her, you're ready to start adventuring. Adventures are a series of encounters where you test your strength, wit, or sword arm against a roll of the die or a dire foe. Here are some of my past adventures. Adventures are a series of encounters. When you lose an encounter, it shows up red. When you win, green. Encounters, especially successful ones, are a source of experience points, gold, and loot. Experience points lead to leveling up. Just like on the PT, more levels indicate more privileges. Collecting loot is a big part of the fun, because just like in real life, he who dies with the most toys wins. The really cool and different thing about Tiny Adventures is that you don't actually have to do anything. You set your hero on an adventure and he does the rest. You can hand him a different sword to swing, or tell him to use a special ability, or drink a potion, but otherwise he's more or less on his own. There is a social aspect to the game. It's why I got BDM to join and he got all the other Top 8 Magic guys to join. The social aspect comes in the fact that people with a lot of friends have a huge advantage in the game. When you're on adventures, you can get buffed by your friends, which increases your chances of winning individual encounters. In between adventures, your friends can heal you. If you have to heal naturally, you heal about 1 hit point every 2 minutes. So people healing you allows you to adventure much more quickly. This is the leaderboard page. It tells you who is winning at any given time. But the really interesting stats are on the retired leaderboard. Heroes retire at 11th level. Paul Sotosanti is the undisputed master of Tiny Adventures. As you can see, he has the top score among my friends list. Playing for points is slow to me, so I go for the other two stats, speed and encounter success. My second generation character Kibler probably should have retired in 4 days and 3 hours, which would have been the global record at that time, but suffered from server issues. Even at 4-3, the masterful Sotosante would have bested Kibler. Drew Nolasco is a Top 8 Magic guy. You may have heard him on the podcast. Personally, I name all of my Tiny Adventures characters after Magic friends and teammates. My first character was Michael J., that's me, an Elf Ranger. My second was Dragonborn, so of course I named him after Dragon Master Brian Kibler. My third was a Dro, named for Austenite Landy Ho of I Came to Game. Landy Ho, Landy Dro. My fourth generation character, Burger King, named for Righteous Babe Brian Kowal of Madison, Wisconsin, is the current friends list leader in encounter percentage. But there is that indomitable Sotosanti right behind. Probably the cleverest name ever given to any Tiny Adventures character ever belongs to my current 5th generation and first Iron Man character, T-Sai Stark, named for dead guy Tony Sai, often called the Shark. Tony Shark, Tony Stark, Iron Man, get it? T-Sai Stark. Tiny Adventures players will often get prompts to heal their friends who have been KO'd on adventures. 9 times out of 10, it is the elusive and hapless Matt Wang. Iron Man characters like T-Sai Stark die permanently instead of whining to friends for help when they get KO'd. So WotC makes them available only to players dedicated to Generation 5 or greater. Next time we discuss Tiny Adventures, I'll go over some basic strategies, special characters and abilities, but what makes the game really fun, the loot. Don't forget, kids, he who dies with the most toys wins. How was that for a change of pace? A lot of Magic players on Facebook really love Tiny Adventures, including all the Top 8 Magic guys, so I thought I'd share it with you if you hadn't heard of it yet. If you like this video and you want to see more content like it, click the text link to the right and visit my blog, fivewithflores.com. If you really like this video and are horrified at the prospect of ever missing any one like it, hit the subscribe button at the top right and YouTube will do the rest. This is your pal, Michael J. Flores, signing off. That site again is fivewithflores.com.